has everything.
Bumping that bang.
Big Boy's Neighborhood, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and he gave us a big boy. You know what I love about this? He is back in the neighborhood, and Louis somehow is not here right now. We have Dr. Oz in the neighborhood. Welcome back to the neighborhood, Dr. Oz.
That is awkward for Louis, I've got to say.
Yeah, man, because every time you come into the neighborhood, he gets diagnosed with something.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
true.
Ugly-titis, the one time he came in.
Ugly-titis.
Yeah,
he's still suffering
other
from
stuff.
that.
Yeah, he's still suffering from that. That's probably why he's hiding from you. But welcome back to the neighborhood, Doc.
Well, thank you for having me.
You've been extremely busy, my good friend.
It has been active.
Yes, it has been. You know, congratulations on another winning season.
So I brought you a little gift today.
Go ahead now. Look at this, lady. This is official right here.
This is this huge box next to
Wow. He just showed us his Emmy right now.
Oh, but
Dr.
it's so heavy.
Oz, that looks amazing. Is that how many does that make for you?
That's my 8th Emmy, actually.
Good Lord have mercy. And we know you don't do it for the Emmys.
No, but
it is good to be recognized.
Yeah, well, it's all about the Emmy.
Yeah.
No, my stiffest competition is my daughter.
Yeah, I heard.
She's coming after me.
I heard.
And she's beating me. She's tough.
Wow.
Now,
She
your
takes no
daughter's on the
prisoners.
chew.
She's on the chew.
And you guys were y'all in the same category for the Emmy?
Exactly, competing, exact same category.
Right, and y'all put a bet on it though, right?
We sell, I've been forced to eat fried Oreos and butter and all kinds of stuff.
What fair are you working at on a weekend?
Exactly. But this I say, here's the deal. Whoever loses has to cook for the winner.
Wow.
Which is diabolically clever on my part because I can't cook. So either way, she loses.
Hello.
That's right. But the best part was after the ceremony, because obviously it's in good sport within the family. She said my payback to her for hurting her by taking her Emmy is take her to In-N-Out Burger.
Oh,
so,
yummy.
we had the animal
so that way she could chew on that. Hello.
Exactly. She enjoyed that.
Well, congratulations. Even though you had to beat your daughter out and rub it all in her face. And, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's always good to come, I guess, second to your dad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's still in the family.
My wife was rooting for her. That I know for sure.
Right, of course, because you always win them over
No,
her.
I don't know.
You know what I'm
And your
saying?
wife's
I
like, "We
mean,
don't need him."
yeah, like your wife is probably like, where are we going to put another Emmy?
Now
You know
I
what I'm
gotta
saying?
polish
Now, how many
another
does your
one.
daughter have?
She has one.
See, definitely
But
got one.
she's going to get more. She's,
Right.
She's a lot
When
more
you
years
stop?
on me. No, I stopped.
Because
right.
obviously she's not going to win against her dad. I mean, you
don't
done
know.
proved that.
She's much smarter than me. She's got her mom's brains.
Wow,
we'll see.
Now, how many Emmys does your wife have?
Oh, well, she has all these with me.
Hey, man, you answered that so well.
Plus all the cash.
Yeah, you answered that so well. Well, congratulations to you, man. And that's the Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Informative Talk Show.
Yeah, you're very kind.
And that you are. And that you are. Recently, you guys just did a show on fast food packaging. The alerts, things that we all need to know. Now, and you were saying, and this is just packaging, because sometimes fast food gets the bad rap, no pun intended.
Well, this is very well done. So the packaging is sort of interesting. In the old days, when McDonald's, for example, first started, they just put them in paper bags. All the fast food guys did. It was okay. You didn't mind if you got a little grease on you. And then as people started to get more clever, they put them in wax paper. But the wax paper wasn't as good to work with either. So they came up with this new wrapping that has a bunch of chemicals in it. And whether the chemicals are dangerous or not is not that controversial. I mean, there's concerns about it. But whether it leaches into the food, whether it affects you at all, that's the big debate. People just aren't sure. And they're battling back and forth. Some folks think it's a bad problem. Others aren't convinced. So it turns out the solution is take the burger out of the wrapper as soon as you get it. The longer it heats up the wrapper, the more the possibility of chemicals getting into your food. So I'm not even telling you to stop eating fast food. So when I went to the In-N-Out Burger to celebrate the Emmy, right, I just took my burger, I pulled it out of there real quick, and I ate it.
I heard that.
Yeah, so that actually works fine. For most people, that's okay. And that's a solution that we want to throw out there.
Man, now they were saying that the chemicals that could be in there, if I'm not mistaken, they said they're meant for like water and stain proofing for things like carpet and
PFO, PFOA. They're products that were designed for industrial use. It happens to work for paper, and as long as it doesn't get into your food, you don't really care. But it might, and who knows? When you microwave things and heat them up inside of chemicals, we do have a concern that it gets into the food. It may not be exactly that same chemical, but it modifies, it gets in, it slips in. So why bother taking a risk? Especially when the solutions are so easy. There are a lot of things that we're fighting about health, and some of the vapors are a good example where it's hard to prove that they're bad or good, but there are easy ways to make them safer. Your cell phone, right? If you're worried about cell phone affecting your head, just pick it and put it an extra foot or two away from your head when you go to bed at night. It's not a big deal. Right? Don't use it in an elevator. Don't put it to your head when you're driving because it's just searching for signals so it boosts its energy.
Right.
So when you got easy hacks to avoid being in the middle of the debate, just take the hack. So in this case, unwrap your burger and eat it.
I heard that Dr. Oz, and you do eat fast food. Not all the time, I don't think, but you will stop and get. Wait.
I don't usually go to fast food. Right. That was a little payback I had to give my daughter.
Right.
But the thing is, we don't have In-N-Out burgers on the East Coast.
Ah.
So, but there's sometimes. Listen, nothing is healthier than a smiling family and having a good time with them. Nothing. And keeping my wife happy is number one. That makes me live longer for sure.
Do you use the microwave?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
A microwave food.
Okay.
There's some things that
because
don't
if you
microwave
didn't, I
well.
wouldn't.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Microwave. Again, it's a good example of something that we're pretty confident if it's not busted, works perfectly. You know the screen in the front.
Right.
That's got to be in the right way. I mean, don't put your notes up against it.
Right.
But generally speaking, if you're an inch or two away from it, you're not going to get any exposure to microwave, and it's not that big a deal for that reason. There's a lot of things we have unreasonable fears of, and there's some things that you have really appropriate fears of, like soft drinks.
All right.
Which I'm big time concerned of. So if I ever go to a fast food place, and again, I'd only do it because the kids were breaking down the car to get in there. I won't have any soft drinks. I'll be careful about the bread. That's more of a problem than the burger, for example. Well, and I don't usually eat French fries. French fries are they're a messenger system for bad things into your body. I know they taste good.
Oh, they taste delicious.
But
So
to
you don't
make it taste good, they put salt and grease in it. There's a reason they taste good.
So you don't eat the bread, you don't drink the soda, and you don't have the fries.
No, I'll have.
So
the
what
chicken.
the hell are you doing going into a fast food?
I'll eat the chicken. I'll eat the pickles and the burger and the tomatoes. I'll have the salad stuff. There's
Right. There's things there.
Yeah.
Because so many times fast food places get a bum rap when there's things there that you can order.
So they're trying to satisfy us. Like, I got a good friend who's the head person at Coca-Cola, good guy, and he says, "Listen, we're trying to sell healthy beverages. We make them. We make water. We make teas. But if you only buy the soft drink, then I'm not going to stop making it."
What's so bad about when you say the soda? What's so bad, Dr. Oz, about?
So it's a teaspoon of sugar per ounce. It's a lot more sugar than you'd ever add.
So if someone, let's say you go get a 16 ounce, which is like small now.
Yeah, it's about 16. It's a ton of sugar added in more. Like, you got a nice green tea over there, right? So you would never add as much sugar to that tea as added to a soft drink. You're not even aware of it. Right. And the other thing about soft drinks is sort of crazy. You don't just get those extra 160 calories in a can. You're also eating more food at that meal. It somehow slows down your ability to process caloric consumption. So people tend to eat more calories. Maybe it's because they're celebrating with a soda. And listen, once in a while having a soda, God bless you. But if it's your main beverage of consumption, that's a concern. And I just did a big piece on diet sodas because historically doctors like me would always say, well, switch out your regular soda for a diet soda. It turns out people who drink diet soda, and we can't say it causes it, but we know this is true, that people who drink diet soda have a 3 times higher incidence of stroke and of dementia.
Wow.
So I'm not so high on recommending diet soda anymore. So I'd rather you take your soda and at least cut it in half with seltzer water because you won't even taste the difference. There's so much sugar in there anyway.
Wow.
Or just wean it off because most people just want the bubbly. Just have the sparkling water, put a lime and lemon, put something in there that sort of jazzes it up for you so it's not boring. And then get used to that as your new normal, and you're not going to miss it. And that's the single easiest way to lose weight.
The ultimate Alzheimer's diet. Now, you just recently did a segment on that as well, Dr. Oz. And what is that?
So the issue with Alzheimer's is that we think it's like diabetes of the brain. So the same things that cause inflammation in the body, that muck with your hormones, throw your insulin levels off, seem to cause inflammation in the brain. The brain tries to heal itself by making those plaques, your amyloid plaques you may have heard of. So the less inflammation you have in the body, the less problems you're going to have in your brain. So a solution for brain health includes foods to take out and then someone to add in. So what are the foods that irritate your brain? Fried foods, highly sugared foods. Those are things we know cause inflammation in your body. And we also know sometimes in some people, wheat causes issues and dairy causes issues. So if your gut doesn't tolerate, your brain won't either. Because your brain and your gut, they are so similar, I can't tell you. I mean, you have more of the nerves in your spine than in parts of your brain that go to your gut. So it's a big deal to muck with your gut because your brain won't function. On the other hand, there's some things you should be doing, like coffee. I don't know if you guys are coffee drinkers, and I'm not one.
Natalia is.
Natalia.
But I have weaned
But wait, we probably may hear something good.
Yeah,
Hold on
true,
before you
that's
make
true.
a confession.
So surgeons generally don't drink that much coffee because it makes their hands shake. That's bad in the OR. And even worse, you got to go to the bathroom, which is really a problem in the operating room. So it smells terrible. So, so we don't drink much coffee, but turns out coffee seems to reduce mental health, the dementia and changes your brain function. Part of it is that it wakes you up, so you pay attention more. But independent of that, it seems to have healing characteristics on your brain. So most people ought to be drinking a little coffee if you like the taste.
Yeah.
But it's the sugar and the cream that hurts you, not the coffee.
Yeah. See, that one I quit. If I do coffee, I do completely black. I don't add any sugar. I don't add any cream. And I have I mean, there was one point I was drinking maybe 4 cups a day. We're down to maybe half a cup every other day. So, but I am drinking a lot more green tea, which I feel that has been helping.
So green tea has caffeine too, right? You don't have to have just a coffee. And the green teas, the oolong tea or the black tea, which actually has a lot of caffeine as well, are all fine. I get a little concerned about the energy drinks. Because you have no idea what's in those things. And there's something called guarana, which is a caffeine-containing herb. They don't have to mention that it has caffeine. So they don't write it that it has caffeine because of the guarana. So you get a lot more, and you get it fast, and it jolts your brain. I can't tolerate them at all. But from people who
I don't
get
drink them at all, bro.
You know, it's a little bit of a fake promise because they say, hey, I'm giving you energy. What they're really doing is withdrawing energy from your energy stores.
Wow.
Spending it for you. And then later that day, you have no energy left. And they're not there to help you out. It's like a credit card. Who wants that?
Now, what about the green tea as well with the Alzheimer's diet? Did you say that green tea,
big time,
if you get it more in its natural form?
Yeah. So teas, when they come in the bags, they're sort of ground up a little bit. But you can get loose leaf teas that people can put into little, and they're less expensive oftentimes. And get it, you ought to develop tea rituals. The beverages we drink hurt us or help us. In most societies where people live a long time, they tend to drink beverages that naturally make them a little bit more alert. Green tea is a great example. Green tea is tea that's not as oxidized, so it didn't turn black. So it still has caffeine, but not as much as it would have had. But it has a lot of the other chemicals, the phenols, that haven't been damaged by the sun. So it's like halfway between one problem and another problem, which is too much caffeine and nothing. And so it gives you a little bit of everything, which is why in cultures that have low dementia rates, they tend to drink a lot of green tea.
It took me a long time to realize what kind of relationship I had with food. Because growing up, I realized I was told so many times, you finish what's on your plate. You finish everything that I serve you. And now, if there's food in front of me, without even thinking, I feel that I have to finish it, whether I'm full or not. And can you give myself and other people tips on how to maybe conquer over-consuming food?
So when you look at places where people live a long time, they're called green zones, or blue zones rather. The blue are where they live the longest. And they live 4 times more likely to age 100 than we do here in Los Angeles. So you want to copy what they're doing. They have a tradition in Okinawa, which is one of these blue zones, that they only eat 80% of their food. There's a whole word for it in Japanese. And we ought to be doing the same thing. So it's hard once the food's in front of you. If you eat from a bigger bowl, you're going to eat more food. Right? If you eat from the container, it's even worse. And a lot of you guys are doing that right now, I bet you. So I tell folks, divide whatever they serve you in a restaurant, for example, just divide it in half.
Okay.
If you're going to having dinner with your family at home, just take half of what you were going to have. You can always go back for more, but here's why it's important. There's a hormone called ghrelin. It sounds like gremlin. It's churning away in your stomach, making that growling noise. If you let the ghrelin levels naturally drop down, you're not going to be hungry. After you eat a meal, they drop. But here's the catch. It takes a half an hour to figure out that you ate. Well, if you're like me, you've had 3 meals in half an hour.
Yeah.
So eat half of what you're going to eat. I'm telling you, it's going to work unbelievably well. Half of what you're going to eat, take it down, and just make sure you have half an hour before you decide to take more.
Okay.
And your appetite will almost always be either gone or so much less that the next thing you take is a more reasonable amount.
Yeah.
And try to get up from the table feeling a little light. And you think you're going to get hungry fast, you don't. Most of what we perceive as hunger is withdrawal. It's not actually, because that's why, you know how you know it's withdrawal? When you eat, you don't feel good, you feel relief. That's what that's what drugs do, right?
Yeah.
When you're a drug addict doesn't feel good when they do drugs, they feel relief when they do drugs. By the way, speaking of drugs, we've been doing some heavy hitting shows on that. I went to Philadelphia, which is where I'm from originally. And there's these railroad tracks, and underneath the underpasses, they have these drug dens. And they're doing $1 million of drug business under each one of these things a day. I went with the DEA SWAT team, the cheapest heroin at the lowest price in the country. And people from California are going there to get it. And because it's between the city and the train tracks and no one knows who controls the land, the drug lords do. And it's become a catastrophe. But number 1 cause of accidental death in America right now, drugs.
Overdose?
Overdose. Number 1 cause. Think about that. I mean, it dwarfs car accidents and other bad problems.
Do you feel like now people are doing more of everything now?
Yeah, they're doing more of everything.
What used to also be a little bit taboo or was done in the dark. Now you hear people, celebrating drug use,
Yeah.
where it could be, prescription drugs, whatever somebody think about weed, cocaine, opioids, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So it seemed like it's being celebrated a little bit more.
Well, it was dirty to do heroin when I was a kid. It wasn't cool at all. I mean, you felt really off the tracks when you were doing heroin. Nowadays, everyone has a family member who's got it. 1 in 3 families affected by it.
Wow.
So it's good and it's bad. I mean, it's terrible that it's increased, but it's good that every family now realizes they are at risk, so they care. It's not just some other person's kid who's having a problem. And young people start and they can't get off. Older folks, classic case, 35-year-old construction worker, never had a drug problem in his life, hurts his back. He gets a couple weeks of OxyContin or something. And if you're prone to it, you'll be addicted by then. And it makes your weaning impossible because it hurts more than it ever did before. And just the other thing that's so shocking to me, narcotics are not a good pain treatment. They never have worked that well except acutely. I'm a heart surgeon.
Right.
I'm open people's chests. I give them, 3 OxyContin or Vicodin. That's all I give them. And they don't need much. I'm not going to give you, 2 weeks worth.
Right.
People they get a tooth pulled, they get a month's worth of narcotics, and then that stuff hangs out, and people think that's safer. It's not safer. It still addicts you, and then you go down the path. I met a guy when I was in Philadelphia doing the show that used to build the homes for the professional sports teams. The last time he filed an income tax return, it was for $575,000 of income. He said he went from making homes to being homeless.
Wow.
And it didn't take long. He had a bad event in his family. One of his kids fell off the truck, and it's just once you're there, you become you go to enablers, you sabotage your friendships. We've all been there. The beautiful thing about drugs, though, is that when you get better from them, you should be a spokesperson to get others off the path as well. And there are 25 million people in recovery right now for drug addiction. But that's an army of people who know that recovery is real. We just got to convince the people who are addicted that that's true.
Dr. Oz, now, as you see, I'm sitting here, I'm wearing glasses. And it seemed like the more I put them on, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. It seemed like the more I put on glasses, the more I need my glasses now. It could be age, so on and so forth. But at one point, I would try to play it off and struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I'm over here, by the way.
Oh, where you at? Oh, my bad. Hold on. There you are.
Big.
All righty, my bad. I was trying to play it off again. Hip hop is going blind. Yeah, but now, if you do wear your glasses more, Dr. Oz, do you need them more?
It's not that you need them more, but eye exercises are worthwhile. So we don't accommodate our eyes that much in the modern world. Accommodation means I look far away, then look close up, far away and look close up. In most of our lives, we only look at the computer screen or our iPhone or just a few inches in front of us. So our eye muscles get lazy. So eyeglasses take some of the heat off, but it does not making your eyes worse, making them a little bit lazy sometimes. So I always tell folks when you get up, or just develop a ritual. So much of life is about rituals.
Right.
On the Dr. Oz app, which by the way, the Dr. Oz app was also nominated for an Emmy.
Hello.
Netflix beat us in that category.
Damn you, Netflix.
Darn gosh. Anyway, so on the app, I put a regimen, a daily checklist of things to do. And I did that because if you do them every day, then those are the habits that will take you through life. Doing something perfectly one day doesn't change anything.
Right.
Do it right every day. So you ought to get up and just 10 times, look close, look far, look close, look far. Same with your phones. At least every few minutes, 20 minutes, so lift your head up a little bit. Make sure that you're unkinking your neck, because otherwise you get text neck, which is hunched over like Quasimodo, right? And you also get text thumb, and these are real illnesses. Like you need to get injections by doctors to get better by it. They're a big deal. So every few minutes you have to remind yourself, even your posture, sitting here in the studio, everyone driving in their cars right now.
Everybody just straighten up.
Fix their backs real quick.
It doesn't help, but no.
My biggest problem.
Yeah.
So subtle moves like that done every day are what allow you to live a long life. And that biggest mistake we make about healthcare and about our health is thinking that there's some really expensive, crazy fix that someone else has. It's small things done right every day, and you win that battle in your home. And when you sense that, in your own life, that moment, because you feel better about what's going on. And that's actually what the show has always been about.
What type of sugar addict are you? All right, this is a quiz to determine what kind of sugar addict you are. Now, what I want to do, I haven't looked at this, so I want to see exactly what kind of sugar addict I am, and everyone's in the neighborhood.
Okay.
So, Dr. Oz, I'm going to hand this to you. and you go ahead and see what kind of sugar addict we are in the neighborhood.
Question number 1. There are 4 questions here. You're going to pick A, B, or C, and just remember how many A's, how many B's, how many C's.
So everybody get something they can write down with as well.
But you can do it in your head.
Yeah.
Just remember, mostly A's, mostly B's, or mostly C's. Okay?
Alrighty.
Question number 1. You just polished off a yummy cupcake for a mid-afternoon snack, right? Yummy cupcake, mid-afternoon snack. Do you feel A, comforted, B, a burst of energy, C, completely normal, no change at all? That's question number 1. If you're driving along, these are on DrOz.com, by the way. Easy to pick these up.
Hello.
Sugar addicts. Simple to do. Question number 2. You experience your stronger cravings, your strongest cravings, when A, you've had an emotional day, B, during the afternoon lull, C, right after you finished a meal. Okay.
Strongest craving?
Strongest cravings. What time is it? Emotional day, afternoon lull, when you finish a meal. Question number 3. What's your go-to indulgence? Is it A, ice cream, cake, and other sweets? Oh, B, a large mochaccino with extra whip, by the way. Or is it C, a big heaping bowl of spaghetti? Favorite indulgence.
Man.
And the last question. Remember, A, B's, or C's. Just keep track. What are you most likely, where are you most likely to eat your snacks? Is it A, on your couch or in the bed? B, on the go? C, at your kitchen table?
Oh, man.
Now, big boy, where are you in your sugar addiction type?
The first one I did CACC.
All right, so
CACC.
So you're a C, and people who are C's are autopilot addicts.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That what that means is you're not even thinking about the food.
Right.
And that is a very common problem to have. Because if you're not actually processing, you're not aware what's going in your body, then mindlessly you're putting things in there. That's why you get tricked by things like salt and sugar, because they hit your brain like crack cocaine. So you reflexively take more of them. You can't get out of it. And mindless eaters really fall prey to that.
All righty. So I was CACC. What about you, Natalia?
I was BACB.
So you got a couple B's going on your side. So B's are energy-seeking addicts.
Yeah.
Which, again, very typical. And here's what happens to energy-seeking addicts.
Man, who the fuck you think you are, Dr. Oz? Sorry about that, Dr. Oz. He's always right. I'm sorry, you guys. I've never cursed at him before. I'm sorry.
It felt good, actually. I felt cleansed.
Give me a bowl of spaghetti. I'm so sorry,
Heap it.
Dr. Oz. Yeah, heap a bowl of spaghetti.
But your situation is so typical because folks think, I got nothing left in the gas tank. I'm going to just take some calories in and it'll get me over the edge. But first, it's a false promise because actually you got to replenish at some point, really replenish. But the second thing is it happens because you make too many decisions in your life. The more you automate your life, the less you consume energy to make decisions, the more you'll have to be able to save those decisions. When you get tired of making decisions, you eat food. They did a great study actually in Israel. They took these parole judges. Now they got to decide if the criminals get in or out. And so every time they'd see criminals, they'd have to say, "You're getting out, you're getting in." So it turned out in the mornings they gave a lot of paroles. In the afternoon, nothing.
Oh, wow.
Nothing. And the reason is giving a parole takes proactive energy in your brain. You got to think it through. The reflexive, I'm tired.
Wow.
Go to your room is no parole.
Crazy.
So if you guys go to jail, go get parole in the morning.
Yes. One of my buddies just got denied his 14th parole, and I'm going to have to tell him, like, hey, man, go in the morning.
Or take him some food. Do
Yeah,
something.
that's what
There's a
Dr.
trick
Oz
to this.
said.
Yeah, go armed with calories.
That is true because you notice even at the end of your day, you become more dismissive. Like,
Yes, exactly.
Wow.
And so to get past that feeling, we eat sugar, especially in the late afternoon. The bewitching hour is primarily because we made too many decisions. So in my own personal life, I get up every morning about the same time, let's say 6 o'clock. And I have yogurt and blueberries and my green drink. That's what I have for breakfast. I don't think about it. I don't select it. It's there already. I grab it and I go. I don't eat anything else. I never let anything muck with that decision process. I eat the same thing for snacks during the day. By the time I get to the late afternoon, I'll have chocolate or something else to keep me going a little bit. But I don't make big mistakes because I got a lot of energy to make more decisions. So don't waste your time on dumb things. Focus your energy, your chi, for making decisions on important stuff.
Man. Now, what were you, Ida?
I was ACAB.
So you got a lot of A's going. This is perfect. So the people who answered A's are the stressed out sugar addicts. And
Oh, yeah, that's perfect.
That's exactly me.
but sugar is so soothing. It really, and I mentioned earlier, it hits your head like crack cocaine. It just takes you to a different level of bliss, and it is a true comfort food. And whenever I see my colleagues as physicians say, "Oh, just cut the sugar out," I mean, I wish you could do that. I used to say that years ago when I first coming out. It's been 8 years since I've known you. God bless you.
God bless you.
I would always say, just stop eating the sugar, and then I realized people become complete jerks off sugar. It's really hard. People who are ketotic, they take a lot of self-discipline to stay kind to others because you get edgy. So a little sugar takes that off. And so you can sort of get through life. It lubricates society. It's just too much sugar. More is not always better, although this is America.
Wow, nailed
Luigi.
it. Nailed it. I'm a CACA.
Oh, you're a mix.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
weird.
it's a common group.
Well,
So-
CACA, that's exactly what he is. He's caca.
Oh,
Funny how he came with that. You
Big
know what I'm saying?
boy.
Well, I'm just going by his test scores. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the caca score. That's a bad one.
Yes, you know.
That's the worst.
says it all.
So cacas are stressed out, but they're also autopilot, right? So it's like going to the bathroom.
Wow.
There it is.
Yeah, so you're not thinking about it, but you're stressed out. So your reflexive response to stress is just to eat, and your body tells you that after a few months of doing it because it starts to show up everywhere else.
Well, and
Yeah, so
like,
Caca.
see,
The keyword was spaghetti on that thing.
right, yeah.
That's what you got me.
I was like,
I'm still thinking about
I
it
was
now.
like thinking, well, maybe got another case and there's some spaghetti in it. Maybe there's some spaghetti under his Emmy award.
My cousin just came up to me and she told me how she had to take my other little cousin, my nephew, to the doctor because he was eating these chips called Takis, which are these like flour chips with a lot of hot sauce on them, a lot of hot chili powder on them, which is kind of similar to hot Cheetos, just a little stronger, I think. But even with that, like Ida was mentioning, her little cousin had to go to the hospital because of that too.
Eating too many hot Cheetos.
What is it with kids nowadays eating these hot Cheetos and their parents actually letting them eat these Takis and hot Cheetos and spicy foods at a young age?
So it's interesting how kids learn to eat spicy foods. It starts actually when they're in their mother's womb. So if the mom eats spicy foods, the kids will like spicy foods. Same for garlic, same for onions, because those aromas get into the amniotic fluid. They get into all your fluids, by the way. I mean, it gets in every bodily fluid, those smells. So the children are exposed to all that, and then as they start to grow up, they start to sense that and desire that. It's not bad to eat spicy foods in the right amount, but the problem with a lot of these chips is they're mixed with salt, and they're crunchy, and so they're almost reflexive. You want to put more and more and more and more into your mouth, and then begin to cause reactions. So I don't think kids are supposed to have very simple taste buds, right? They have a ton of them. They have a dozen more taste buds in their mouth per inch than we do. And then as they get older, they lose those taste buds and it becomes easier for them to tolerate cruciferous vegetables, adult foods. The big problem with fast food in America is that it infantilizes our taste buds. Look at having a big burger or a soda pop and French fries when you're 5 tastes okay. It's good, right? But when you're 35, that just sort of feel bland to you unless you put a lot of stuff on there. And that's the maturation that's supposed to happen. That's why I don't give any of I didn't give our kids hot sauce when they were young. And then, but by the time they're teenagers, they got to start tasting that stuff to get used to it because it is good for you long term.
What does that
I
do
was
to the
born eating
body,
hot
though?
sauce.
So it does a couple of things. It can cause allergic reactions.
Yeah.
It actually, if you've eaten enough hot sauce, you'll notice that the poop coming out of you also burns down there.
Yeah.
Because the membranes around your lips are the exact same as the ones around your anus. Oh. So it burns your mouth. It burns coming out, and the intestines don't like that. They
So
don't
if I
like to be
tell
burned.
somebody kiss my ass, it could be my mouth too.
It could be big time. Yeah. Well, let's do this. Purse your lips like this. I mean, it looks like the other side, right?
Yeah, it does. Lord have mercy.
And when we're at doctors, when you biopsy the lip, it looks like the anus. You can't tell the difference.
Man,
Wow.
the things I learned from this
Found
man.
out.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Dr. Oz, always a pleasure to have you in the neighborhood,
Thank you,
my
my
friend.
friend.
Thank you so much, man. 8th season going on right now. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Congratulations to you on another Emmy.
Yes.
Best believe that. And also all things that we talked about here. If you want to find anything, you can always make sure that you hit up www. That is droz.com. That's www.droz.com. And we'll find everything there. Also up and coming shows and
All the fun stuff.
I heard that.
I want to thank you very much for being such a leader on these big issues and getting folks to pay attention to their health because you make it fun. God bless
Man,
you.
I appreciate you. That's Dr.
Yeah,
Oz in the neighborhood, Big Boy's
Big Boy.
neighborhood.